It'd be pretty boring if I just talked about being a percussionist myself. So I thought what might be interesting is referring to some videos made by Brett and Eddy from TwoSet Violin. Okay, this track. That's not true. There are triangle solos. There are sections where you have to do big triangle rolls.
I can't understand this conducting.
I love Brett's conducting. I got scolded in front of the entire orchestra. The conductor was like, "You have an instrumental teacher, right?" "Yeah." "Well, you need to get more lessons from him." Lol.
So cheap.
Was that Steve Weiss? That's Steve Weiss sorted by price, high to low. That's literally what I do for my videos.
Hey, well, at least I'm getting paid.
We don't really get paid that much normally. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Studio. My name is Adam. Today's video is a little bit different. I'm in my blacks today and we're going to be talking about what it's really like to be a classical percussionist. If you're new to my channel, my name is Adam and I make videos about percussion every single week on this channel. And if you want to be part of the family, make sure you hit that red subscribe button below to keep up with my uploads. And thank you so much to my studio VIPs, Robert Utomo, Wolf Lina, Marimba Maurice, Bradley Crowley, Ryan Carlisle, Sungshin Han, Scott Rader, Greg Harris, and Dean P. Newberger. Thank you so much for your continued support. And today's featured studio artist is Rachel Lipson. Thank you so much for your continued support. And if you'd like to become a studio VIP or a studio artist, you can go to patreon.com/AdamTan, or you can click over here. Welcome back to the show once again. Hope you've been well, hope you've been staying safe. Yes, today's video is a little bit different. It's been inspired by a whole bunch of questions that I get, which is always about how to get started with percussion. Is there any point in being a percussionist? And I think there's just so many ways to answer this question. I've been doing percussion since I was in high school, so that makes it 13 years now, but if we don't count schooling, if we don't count my 5 years at university, I've been out of university for 5 years as a freelance percussionist. I mainly prefer playing marimba, but I have done orchestral percussion. Objection! It'd be pretty boring if I just talked about being a percussionist myself. So I thought what might be interesting is referring to some videos made by two of the most popular classical music creators who happen to be in the same country as me, although over east. West is best. It's none other than Brett and Eddy from TwoSet Violin. I've been following these guys since the very beginning when they were just making Facebook videos, and then they branched out to YouTube, and now they've become just this huge phenomenon. And I'm really proud of them because not only are they representing the home team, but they are also representing classical music on a global level, which I think is just amazing. Now, if you're familiar with TwoSet Violin, you'll know that they like to roast people in good-natured fun, of course, and they don't really pick on percussion that often. I kind of wish they did, because that would make for more content. But they actually have referenced percussion before in some of their videos, so I have picked a few of their videos which we're going to talk about together in reference to the topic of today's video, which is what it's like to be a percussionist. It's none other than the Life of the Percussionist video, the Bruckner video, where they have one cymbal crash in the entire piece. And yeah, I'm sure you've seen it before, but let's just watch it for now.
All right,
I think it's hilarious.
Bruckner, I know you hate percussionists.
You know, the way Eddy is sitting in this video is exactly how I sit in orchestra. I'm always like... In percussion parts, sometimes you just get entire movements where you play absolutely nothing on your part, especially if you're playing auxiliary percussion like cymbals, tambourine, triangle, all that kind of stuff. That usually comes in the more exciting sections. And the other thing is Eddy is sitting on a chair, and usually when you have a well-organized percussion section in a professional orchestra, yes, there will be chairs for the percussionists to sit down, but sometimes in my university concerts where we had setups that were very tight, like a very narrow row along the back, we couldn't fit any chairs, otherwise we wouldn't be able to move between the instruments. So Rite of Spring, it's a massive Stravinsky work. It has a whole bunch of really cool percussion parts, but you do need to move around a little bit. And there was one time where we were rehearsing in a very small hall and we had no chairs, and when it wasn't our turn to play, we had to just stand like this in the back, and it was so awkward. Usually everyone in the orchestra, even the timpanist, gets a chair, but the actual percussionists, sometimes they're just forgotten.
One note for a whole symphony? Really? Daniel
I think the triangle roll is also pressure too, because they have to wait as well.
It's coming. The moment is approaching.
But usually when you have parts like this where there's only like one note after a long space of time, it's usually like the climax or something, and that means that one of the other percussionists will be playing as well. So I think in this particular symphony there's a triangle roll, which means I would probably just wait for the triangle person to stand up and go from there. I'd be like, you ready?
Ready.
And then we just go together, and if we fail together, well, whatever.
Is up. It's like one job.
Man, that cymbal grip.
I can't understand this conducting.
I love Brett's
man.
conducting.
Wait, no. Wait, no, that's not. Wait, is that it?
Yeah, when it sounds the same,
Wait a
it's
second.
so
Did I
annoying.
miscount? Let me read the cue.
And also because percussion's at the back of the orchestra, and in some larger venues, there's a lot of auditory delay, like lag, because it takes time for sound to travel. If you're not watching the conductor's hands, you can come in early. And I've done that so many times. In fact, one of my first gigs was a Haydn symphony, and I was playing the timpani part. I was the only percussionist in this. And I came in literally maybe a 30-second note early on one of my rolls, and I got scolded in front of the entire orchestra. The conductor was like, "You have an instrumental teacher, right?" "Yeah." "Well, you need to get more lessons from him." And I felt super embarrassed because I was only in my first year of university and it was my first orchestral gig. I was literally just told to play this timpani part on the day, and yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, the disapproving look on the conductor's face can sometimes be worse than missing the note. That resignation.
Oh god. I missed it. Hey, well at least I'm getting paid.
We don't really get paid that much normally. If you're not playing in a professional orchestra, you're not going to get paid much, especially for something like this. I'm so glad I don't play orchestral percussion anymore. Of course, when you compare it to a melodic instrument like violin, of course the solo is going to sound more interesting. I've always thought the two of them are such exceptional players. Ah, that's not true. There are triangle solos. There are sections where you have to do big triangle rolls. Okay, this triangle. That's a hilarious rolling technique, and I think he's not far off actually. You do roll it in the corners, but a little bit more delicately, and you wouldn't use this sort of rubber band securing system. I think most of us usually use triangle clips. Yeah, that is actually a legitimate thing. If you guys know the piece Escape by Drew Warden. I think that's one of the most fascinating things about triangle, is that you can make wavy sounds out of it simply by altering the airflow. Man, Eddie looks so happy. You can have soft rolls on triangle. Soft playing on triangle is very, very difficult. Usually you'll use 2 beaters if it's like a repeated passage, like ding, 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 and you'll have it on a very secure stand so it doesn't wiggle too much. But yes, I think one of the hardest things in percussion is actually soft playing, especially if you're the only person playing the part. A good example of that is bolero. I had to play bolero for a community orchestra once, and you start super soft with the da, ticka da, ticka da, da, and my hands, if they shake just a little bit, it goes woo, and it sounds super whack. Oh, Paganini 1! I've played that on my channel, you can check it out over here. I love hearing it being played on a violin, it's just awesome. Yeah, triangle scraping is a thing. It does happen. I did play in a few contemporary new music gigs where we had to scrape the triangle, scrape the gong, scrape the cymbal. It's a very common sound effect.
I have to practice 40 hours a day to become lean.
I need to practice 40 hours a day to be...
Ding ding, right?
Wow!
Lol!
So cheap!
Was that Steve Weiss?
Whoa!
That's Steve Weiss sorted by price, high to low. That's literally what I do for my videos. I mean, it's all relative, right? If you're buying hammered triangles and you're literally paying just for one tiny strip of metal, like $200 to $300 US, I'd say that's pretty expensive. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. So yeah, it's been really interesting keeping up with TwoSet and seeing how they are able to continue making videos on a daily basis. And they are continually an inspiration for me, and I hope they inspire you guys too. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any questions you have about learning music at school or taking music as a career. I'm not the best person in the world for this, but I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. I know it's a little bit different from my usual videos. And if you'd like to see more videos like this one or any of the other content on my channel, hit that red subscribe button below to keep up with my uploads as I upload every single week. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next week for another episode of The Studio. Good night.